Okay, Gary Derenfeld here, and I'm with just a dear colleague, Adam Cordover from Tampa, Florida.
Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Great to see you. Um, I want our viewers to know that, first of all, I look at you and I think, he's so young. But I know how accomplished you are. I know that you've edited a book with Woody Mostyn on collaborative family law. I know that you are a major national presenter teaching people how to practice collaborative family law. I know that you're sitting on the board of the International Academy of Family Practice. So all of that said, though, and I said, he looks so young. How do you do it?
You've had a lot of great mentors.
So I wanted to interview you. I came across your blog post today. What's the name of your website so people can access it?
It's familydiplomacy.com.
Okay. So I came across your blog through Facebook. I do follow you because I like you. And you had a blog today that was virtually about inviting the rabbi to the family collaborative practice meeting to help sort out that parenting plan. And I get it. We're Jewish. The whole world isn't Jewish. Sometimes I think it is. So it could be the rabbi, it could be the priest, it could be the imam, it could be a tribal elder, an indigenous elder. But I saw that about inviting this person to the collaborative table. And I found it so impressive. People can read the blog, they can understand all of that. What I was curious about, how did you come to this idea?
Well, thank you, Gary, for asking. And so, first of all, it's just in the high holiday seasons for in Judaism. Rosh Hashanah just passed. Yom Kippur is coming up, and I'm fortunate enough to know a rabbi here in Tampa who's with Chabad. His name is Mendy Dubrowski, and he's actually gone through an introductory collaborative training.
Wow.
And it's happened after he and I have had some discussions. And the truth is that I'm a huge fan of the collaborative process. Traditional divorce, it just deals with legal issues. In the collaborative process, we get to deal with not just legal issues, but emotional issues and financial issues as well. But what about other issues? What about issues related to our faith, our values, our traditions? Sometimes it may be helpful to go beyond the traditional collaborative divorce team and not just have a mental health professional, financial professional, and the attorneys, but perhaps to have somebody in the room as well who can help us, console us, help ensure that we are still abiding by our best faith and traditions, and also maybe to help us keep on best behavior as well during these difficult times. And actually that last part, Gary, I had seen you give a talk as well about bringing community leaders into different processes as well. And I certainly had that in mind when I was writing this.
I'm glad to have influenced you, but to go so far as to have a collaboratively trained faith leader, to me, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think maybe one of the ways in which one of the reasons why we may be able to do this is a lot of times people ask, well, how can I speak with faith leaders about collaborative divorce? And that can be sometimes very difficult. And maybe another option that worked with this rabbi, although he was very receptive to it, is to say to the faith leaders, we'd love to hear what your view of divorce is. And sometimes that can be an open door for faith leaders to hear a little bit more about collaborative practice. Of course, Rabbi Mendy was fantastic. His good friend was open to it, but we found that has also helped with other faith leaders as well. And sometimes that's just the type of individual that you need in a room when you're going through very, very difficult discussions.
Totally get it. I once had a Lubavitch rabbi. He was so big, so tall, the big black hat, the beard. And where I was getting nowhere with the family, in 5 minutes, he just looked at them and said, okay, now you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to. and he was the authority, and they did his bidding. In another circumstance, I've had reverends into the room. In another circumstance, it was an indigenous elder, and to have those persons there, it shifts the whole feeling of what's going on, and it does put people on their better, into their better selves. Just, I loved reading that article. I've never seen anyone else broach that.
Well, thank you so much. And you know, and sometimes it's also about the technical aspects of the divorce as well, depending on your faith, because it may be that your faith does require a get in it, or the payment of a mar in parts of the Islamic faith, or perhaps you may want a religious annulment in some Catholics and other types of Christianity. So there are many reasons why people should at least consider whether they want a rabbi or another faith leader to help them out as they're going through these difficult times.
Well, Adam, you are brilliant, even if you're young. You are an ageist, right? You are brilliant. You are so flexible. You demonstrate a out of the box thinking, common term, that so enables meeting the needs of the people you serve. So hats off to you, my friend, and thank you for doing this interview.
Hey, thank you, Gary. Thank you for inviting me. Thanks.